Good afternoon and happy rainy Memorial Day weekend. It is, I don't know if it's actually raining in other parts of the country or not, but it is a perfectly lovely rainy day here in Charleston, South Carolina. And I will be honest, I've been sitting here in my recliner reading for about 2 hours, actually probably more than that, and realized that I should be reviewing Shotgun Lovesongs. I know last weekend I was all excited and I said I was going to do this review. I did finish reading the book on Wednesday night before I went to sleep. And I've just been waiting for the opportunity to do the review. And then here came the opportunity, and all I wanted to do was curl up into a little ball on my recliner and read. And I've been doing that. So when it hit me, I realized that I was being kind of a selfish brat. So I decided to go ahead and do the review. I will say I do not feel like being seen today, and I'm doing you a favor. You probably wouldn't want me to show my face today. So I'm just going to show you the picture or the cover of this awesome book. I mean, this is an awesome book cover. I'm going to get to the review in a minute, I promise. But I do think that's a really cool book cover. And I don't care what people say. Everybody really does judge a book by its cover at some point. So anyway, enjoy the cover of Shotgun Lovesongs. So, Shotgun Lovesongs by Nickolas Butler. This was published in 2014. It's about 250 pages long, so not a really big book, not a big time commitment, and not exactly new either. It's been around for a couple of years. I honestly cannot remember at this point where I first heard of this book. I have some ideas, just knowing kind of my go-to places for when I'm looking for my next read, but I'm not sure on this one. I know it's been on my to-be-read pile, my TBR list, if you will, on Goodreads for a while now. And then I finally found it in a used bookstore when I was home in West Virginia visiting my family a couple months ago. So I grabbed it up and brought it back with me. A little bit about Nickolas Butler. He does have a couple of other books. I'm not sure if this is the first one or if there were some that came before this one. If I had to guess, I would say this is the most well-known. I don't know that for a fact. This is the first one that I had heard about. He also has some short stories and some poetry, so check him out if you're interested, or if you like the review and are interested, go do a little Google search of Nickolas Butler. Nickolas, Nickolas, so take note. All right, so I wanted to address one other thing before I get too into my review about this book. So before reading it, I read a few reviews. I almost always do this. If you ask me, life is just too short to read a book that you should have known from the beginning was not going to go anywhere or hold any interest for you. So if you don't want to waste time on books that other people just hated or whatever, I always go and read a few reviews first. So having read some reviews of this book, one of the things that I kept hearing was that it was based on the life of Justin Vernon. And that's actually something that I read somewhere, that it was based on the life of Justin Vernon. If you don't know who Justin Vernon is, don't feel too bad. I didn't either. He is I don't know how you say that, but the lead singer for Bon Iver. I don't think that they're technically still a group, so I'm not sure if it is or was, but lead singer for Bon Iver. I can't say that I'm necessarily a fan. My pre-husband, my fiance, my intended, whatever you want to call him, he is a fan. I thoroughly embarrassed myself the first time I saw a Bon Iver poster in his house, because if you don't know them, I mean, it looks like Bon Iver. So I was like, oh, Bon Iver. And then he's like, yeah, that's not what they're called. So anyway, I mentioned that because here's the thing. So I asked the Felber being my pre-husband, I asked him, I kind of told him what the book was about and that this was supposedly based on things I'd read, the story of his life or whatever. And the two of us kind of came to the conclusion that loosely based is probably a better term. I don't think that this book is about him. I think that there are some themes in here that maybe come into play, but I don't think anyone would be oh, you like Justin Vernon? Go read Shotgun Love Songs. It's the, inner story of his like personal struggle or whatever. I don't think this is it. So I just say that because if you are that person, if that's what you're looking for, don't waste your time. All right. So what this book is, it's a book about a small town, and it's about friendship and love and relationships and getting older, and not old, mind you. I mean, getting to like my age, which is, mid to early 30s. And just how those relationships, those friendships, how they kind of make us who we are and who we're not, and how they define us, and really how the way we see other people defines us. So not just like what I do, but also how I judge people by the things that they do or the things that they have. I think there are some pretty strong themes here around like success and failure, and money and debt, or love and loneliness, and just kind of the juxtaposition of those things in your friendships and in your relationships. And reading this, I couldn't help but think of like on Facebook. I mean, who's not on Facebook these days? And how you watch people's Facebooks, like your friends from high school, and you see the things that they're doing, and the things that they have, and you can't help but kind of judge yourself against that a little bit, and then that plays into how you interact with other people. And I think that's kind of the overarching theme here. It's just those relationships and how we see other people and how that defines us. So this book is narrated by 5 different people, 5 friends. They've been friends for probably 20 plus years. And it does, so like each chapter is narrated by one of them. It does jump around in time a little bit. So it'll go back to their childhood and then to present day. Some people don't like that. I know that can be a downer, or it can be confusing. I don't think it was in this case. There was never a point where I was just like, I'm so confused, I don't know what's going on. So I don't think that that's really an issue or needs to be an issue. But just to call it out, since some people don't like that. Did I like the book? I did. I most definitely did like it. Did I feel like it was life-altering? No, it's not. It doesn't ask any hard questions. It doesn't make you feel uncomfortable. You're not going to challenge, how you see the world, or you're not going to start to see things in a different way. But it is fun, and it's easy to read. So maybe a little bit unremarkable, but I think it's still enjoyable. Would I recommend the book? Absolutely. I definitely would. It probably wouldn't be my first recommendation if somebody just said, hey Sarah, what should I read? This probably isn't going to be the first thing off my lips, but based on the situation, if somebody's going on a long car ride or a plane ride, or just a day at the beach, or just want to come home and put your feet up and relax after working, then yeah, I would say this is a good book. You can pick it up and really just kind of immerse yourself in the lives of Lee and Hank and Beth and the main characters, and I think you would be adequately satisfied. So check it out. If it's 250 pages, it's not going to be a huge time investment. Just check it out if you don't know what to read next. You will see I have it setting up on 3 books. Those are my Book of the Month Club books. Those just came in last week. I'm so excited. So that's a little bit of a sneak preview of what I'll be doing the next few weeks or so. I've already started one of them, and I am so in love. I'm not going to tell you which one or anything else. So tune in if you care to hear what the next book is that I'm so in love with. All right, have a great weekend. Y'all stay safe, and I hope to be able to talk to you soon. Bye.